Talk about bad luck. 69-year-old Harry McPherson has had his share. An appendicitis attack when he was 20 left him unconscious for 7 days. He fell off a combine and broke his back in 2 places later, had 60% of his stomach removed with a cancer of the colon operation 10 years ago, and if that's not enough, he fell off a load of pulpwood and broke his hip.
Fell off that load of wood, I caught him by the breeches leg, but I couldn't hold him when he broke his hip.
You couldn't hang on to him?
I couldn't hold him. Had to let him go.
Robert Swoops has worked with McPherson for the past 20 years. Swoops claims McPherson, a pulpwooder by trade, is one hard-working individual, despite his misfortunes.
He's good worker. He worked a man to death that they used to work.
McPherson, practically all his life, has worked in the woods and has never really thought about seeking an easier line of employment.
It's not any harder than anything else, I don't guess. A lot of people say it's harder, but I just figure work's work regardless of what it is.
You feel lucky to be here at times?
Yeah, I do. Got a lot to be proud of, because I've had a lot of ups and downs, and I'm in good health and able to work at my age. I'm proud I'm here.
Harry McPherson doesn't know if he's lucky or just plain stupid to still be doing what he does, but folks who know him claim it's just determination. In Flint, I'm your country rover, Jamie Cooper. You probably didn't even know it, but the Space Shuttle Columbia was rolling down a Russellville street yesterday. Its designer and builder, Norris Moore, who just happens to be the street supervisor in Russellville and not a NASA scientist, had it parked in his front yard. Actually, the shuttle is called Jonathan's Columbia, named after Moore's only grandchild, 5-year-old Jonathan Alsbrook. Not only does little Jonathan have a somewhat authentic space shuttle built by his grandfather, he's also the owner of his own railroad, or a small piece of one.
Well, I decided that I would build him something to play with, and I saw this train idea about 30 years ago over in Florence, and I decided I'd build one someday.
Jonathan, probably the envy of every kid in town, has his own plane to buzz around in too. And if that's not enough to get around in...
Well, I'm going to redo this fire truck.
Moore is currently restoring this 1946 fire truck for he and Jonathan to tour the city in.
Are you ready to take off? Okay, here goes.
Jonathan, you sure you know how to drive this thing?
Yeah, are you chicken?
No, I like chicken. Ain't it nice to be a kid? Drive on, fly on. And Russell, I'm your country rover, Jamie Cooper. You got a parachute, Jonathan?
Yeah.
Country music star Bill Anderson and Auburn coach Pat Dye have had their feet measured by this man, Bo Riddle. Riddle is a bootmaker by trade, the only one in the state. Besides Anderson and Dye, some 75 others across the country have put their feet into a pair of Bo Riddle's boots. Specializing in all kinds of legal skins, a pair of handmade boots by Riddle can require 2 to 5 days to be made and cost between $350 and $4,000. But satisfaction is guaranteed.
When I finish a pair of boots, and the first thing the person does when they see them is, ah. And then when they put their foot in it, and they say, ah, then I know that I did right.
Bootmaker Bo Riddle is also known for his fiddle playing, and not to mention his self-confidence.
Oh yeah, I think if I'm not one of the best bootmakers in the world, that within 5 years I will be. That's my goal.
Bo Riddle makes no bones about it. He'd much rather play the fiddle than make boots any old day. But you can bet your boots on the fact that playing the fiddle does not pay the bills as well as making boots does. Hit it! In Trussell with Bo Riddle, the bootmaker. I'm your country rover, Jamie Cooper. There's no saying that says you don't judge a book by its cover. Well, the same thought applies here to the Dismals, because the entrance certainly gives you the wrong impression about the inside. It's certainly a dismal-looking place on the outside. Overgrown grass, peeling paint. But the Dismals didn't get its name from having an unkept entrance. The Dismals got its name from its dismal-like atmosphere. Declared natural wilderness, the Dismals is an 80-acre park with hiking trails that make their way past moss-covered cliffs, clean, rustling streams, and a lot of just plain natural beauty. Located between Russellville and Phil Campbell, the Dismals is open year-round and is a beautiful place to visit. Tomorrow night, I'll take you to the Coon Dog Cemetery near Tuscumbia. At the Dismals, I'm your country rover, Jamie Cooper.
He knew more about hunting coons than any dog I ever saw in the woods. He just knew where to go look for them.
82-year-old Key Underwood loved his coon dog troop so much he buried his faithful canine here almost 50 years ago in the hills of Calvert County. Today, Troop, along with other great coon hunters like Old Judy, Ruff, Bragg, and Old Tip, make the Key Underwood Coon Dog Cemetery the only one of its kind in the world. Coon dogs are still laid to rest here in this unique little spot. In all, 162 have gone to their final hunting ground from here. The Coon Dog Cemetery, located some 30 miles south of Tuscumbia, is open free to the public year-round. For coon dog owners, like Key Underwood, a visit here brings back fond memories of the good old days. When you come out here now to the cemetery, do you still think about Troop?
Well, yeah, that's about the first thing I think about when I drive up. And I just think about how I wish I could go over that again with Old Troop.
You miss Old Troop at times?
I miss him all the time. Because I never had another like it in all my 50 years of coon hunting. He was tops for me. And most everybody else will tell you the same thing that ever hunted with him.
To dogs like Troop, Rusty, Old Red, and Duke, the Coon Dog Cemetery is a final resting place. But Keith Underwood says the Coon Dog Cemetery is much more. It's more like a memorial to some of the greatest dogs that ever lived. At the Key Underwood Coon Dog Cemetery near Tuscumbia, I'm your country rover, Jamie Cooper.